What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a review for Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, Season 15, Episode 4, titled Pod Clash. And I'm spitting like a motherfucker. Damn. With all that facial hair, I look clearer. I know I did. It's a little tan over here. A tan right here. I think it's a tan right over here as well. Let's have a question. This is a question I want to ask you guys. Which look do you guys prefer? This look, clean shaven, or do you guys like me with a little bit of scruff? Let me know in the comment section. But let's go ahead and just get into this episode review, okay? All right, you guys. So you guys remember last week's episode? It ended with Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl. She was talking to Shonda. She's talking about the fact that she thinks Shonda is jealous of her. Again, I'm going to disagree because I don't know what Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E. I don't know what she has for someone to be jealous of. You have a child that is like a lapdog to you. So I don't know what anybody's jealous of, but I mean, if that's what she wants to believe, let's let her believe that someone's jealous of her. Now, I don't agree that, Shonda was jealous. What I will say, however, is Shonda's insecure. Like, that is something that you can't deny. Shonda is insecure about her relationship with Willie, which is evident. But I mean, why stay with a man if when you guys first got married, if he was cheating on you then, why did you continue to stay with him? Why did you have multiple kids with him? It speaks volumes to who Shonda is. And I'm not trying to knock Shonda by no means, but it's stupid to me, to be quite honest with you. Again, why stay with someone that has cheated on you more than once? All right. Now, with Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E, her little boy toy. I don't know why he felt that he beat Willie's ass. I mean, to be quite honest with you, neither one of y'all got the best of each other. It was it wasn't even a little bit of a tussle. It was just like a shoving match. I mean, a few blows were thrown, but nothing to the extent to say that, oh, I beat his ass. Not like that. But, Devon, he did go outside where Willie was, and he apologized to Willie. After, thinking about the situation, he realized he could have done better. Corrupt. So Corrupt says that God sent him to the hospital. God and a whole lot of alcohol and you not eating sent you to the hospital. But I mean, if you want to take it as a sign from God, you do that. Hopefully it's a sign and a wake-up call that you need to change your life. Stop drinking so much. And, people they see a difference in him. And I guess this is the Ricardo that, Tony talks about. But, when it comes to Corrupt, what I want to say. It feels like he is so complacent. He's so in a place where he loves to drink, and we'll talk about it a little bit more about his drinking because it did come up again. But let's just pause right here and move forward. Okay, you guys. All right, you guys. So next, let's talk. So the couples, they did split up for the day. What they did was, one group was going to do a podcast and the other group was watching them. So the group that did the podcast, and when they did this, they didn't know that the other side was watching them, which I don't know how they didn't figure that out, but whatever. So it was Hazel with the guy. So Hazel was the only woman. So it was Hazel, it was Willie, it was Medina, and it was Vado and Willie. Did I say Willie or did I say? However I said, I know it was Willie, Vado, Medina. Okay, so I really got to think about this. It's a lot. It's because it was more guys. Willie, Votto, Medina, Hazel. There's a guy that I'm missing. Oh, Corrupt. How the fuck did I miss Corrupt? Corrupt. That's who it was. I'm like, I'm missing somebody. So yeah, it was Willie, Votto, Corrupt. Willie, Votto, Corrupt, Medina, and Hazel. So they were all doing the podcast, and on the other side, it was Shonda, it was Tahiri, it was Phaedra, it was Tony, and it was Devon. So they're listening to their partners talk about their relationship. Let's get Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E out of the way right away. So with her, I just still want to know what clout she thinks she has, because that's her whole thing. She wants to know if Devon is there for the clout, for the cameras. Now the cameras, I understand. I definitely understand the cameras, but the clout, what clout you got, my dear? None. And even with the cameras, once this show wraps, it's a done deal. So he's not going to be back on reality TV unless by some stroke of luck you get back on Love and Hip Hop, which I pray to God that doesn't happen. But that's pretty much it. So I don't understand her when it comes to this whole clout thing. And then the fact that she calls him a sugar baby. I mean, if that's y'all's arrangement, cool. But if he tells you he doesn't like you calling him a sugar baby, listen to him. Listen. And we're gonna get into the listening aspect as well in this video. But listen to what the dude is saying, internalize it, and say, okay, you know what? I'm making my dude feel a type of way about me calling him a sugar baby. Let me not do that, and then proceed forward. But she is so stuck in her ways. Honest to God, she's toxic as hell. Like, that's the truth that I can say about Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E. She is, toxic. She's antagonistic. And, she also did talk about the fact that he does have this side of him where, he can be a bit aggressive. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't ever want to blame women, nothing like that. But when it comes down to her, it's just her personality. Now, I'm not condoning what he does by no means, but your personality is terrible. Like, I really thought that Iyanla had helped her, but obviously Iyanla didn't do shit for her. I think that her going on Iyanla was just for, more TV time, to be quite honest with you guys. That's my personal interpretation. Now, let's talk about Corrupt real quick. So Corrupt is talking about his drinking issues, and I'm going to assume that Corrupt doesn't know the definition of enabling, because he's talking about his drinking, and he talks about the fact that Tony enables his drinking. No. The definition of enabling, like, I don't understand if he doesn't. Again, like I said, I just don't think he knows what the definition of enabling means. If Tony were enabling your drinking, that would mean she would be putting a bottle down your throat all the time. But Tony is not doing that. Tony is telling you to eat. Tony is telling you to stop drinking. Tony is also stupid. Just keeping it real with you guys. I call it like it is. I don't know why Tony would want to be with a man like that. Like, I don't understand why she would want to be with somebody like that. That is super duper toxic. I cannot be in a relationship where I would not have peace, because I don't see how Tony has any peace with Corrupt or Ricardo, whichever one she wants to call him. How do you have peace with that? Like, he has a drinking problem. I know you say when he stops, he's good, but how often does he stop? Because from what we're seeing, he's always drunk. And when he's drunk, he is an asshole to you. He is rude to you. He is a jerk. Like, so if I were in a relationship like that, I would just have to be like, you know what, I love you, but I have to love myself enough to get myself out of this environment. and do what's right for me. But I just don't know. So then let's move over to Vado. So Vado is talking about his relationship with Tahiri, and he feels that Tahiri is not used to this side of him being talkative. And Tahiri was like, yeah, I'm not used to this side because you are talking to these people, but when it's just you and me upstairs in a room, you're mute. And then he also talks about his relationship with his baby mamas. And they asked him, so do you have a relationship with a lady? He said, no. And everybody saw the hesitation, the people in there and even the other group. So he did say that he still talks to one of his baby mamas, but he doesn't have a sexual relationship with him. And he was like, well, and they were like, well, that's an emotional attachment. He's like, it's just like if I was seeing a therapist, but you don't have an actual relationship with your therapist. You don't have anything, like you go to your therapist just to, talk to your thoughts, talk through your issues. I got where he was coming from, but it's no comparison whatsoever. I knew what he was trying to articulate, but still there's no comparison at all. So next, let's talk about Willie. Again, when it comes to Willie and Shonda, I just don't know why they together. I can't figure that shit out. Because, Willie said that he started cheating on Shonda, then Shonda cheated on him. In retaliation, Shonda's like, that's not what happened. Willie was cheating, so then I retaliated. But even what you said versus what he said, it still is not good. It doesn't make the situation any better. So because he cheated on you multiple times, you decide that you're gonna go out and cheat on him. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it, Shonda? Like I said before, when it comes to Willie and Shonda, I don't know why they're in this relationship. If he was cheating on you when you got married, why didn't you get a divorce then? Why didn't you get an annulment? And then you still had kids with him. So, and you just had another baby with him. So I don't understand those two at all. And then also with Willie, I think they said 2 weeks prior to this, he was texting another girl. I'm like, see, again, why? It's not making sense to me with these two. So then lastly, let's talk about Medina. So Medina is talking about him and Phaedra and the lack of intimacy. He's like, Phaedra wears sexy, sexy stuff to bed, but she ain't giving him none. And Phaedra's like, is this all it is with him? Is about sex? I don't think it's all about sex with him. I actually feel like if he would really articulate it, I mean, he is articulating it, but go a little bit deeper in the articulation, go deeper in it. It's ultimately a lack of intimacy in the relationship. Intimacy doesn't necessarily have to be sex. It could be in the form of affection, kissing, hugging, cuddling, stuff like that. And I think that's where the underlying issue comes in. But for him being a man, it does come down to a sexual aspect as well. And then, the guy asked him how long will he wait. He said 6 months. I mean, that's fair enough time. I feel like in 6 months, I feel like you should know a little bit about your partner at that point. But I don't know if you should wait 6 months to have sex. I mean, some people might, but I mean, I'm not judging. Only thing for me with Phaedra is what we saw on Real Housewives of Atlanta with her. And we know she's a big ass freak. But I also think when it comes to Phaedra, I think she's keeping up. Like when she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, when she lied for that whole time about her due date with Aiden. I feel like I think she's just keeping up a facade for her mom, who's a pastor. Girl, if you a freak, if you fucking, it is what it is. You a grown ass woman. Let it go. Move on. And we're gonna move on. All right, you guys. So once that was over, Dr. Ish told the couples, like, you guys, you gotta go back. Again, they don't know that you guys had, saw this. So if you guys want to tell them that you saw this, it's up to you. If you don't, no skin off, no skin off my back. So Corrupt and Tony, they were the first one we saw. Tony told Corrupt it was basically a setup to, so that they could see what they said. And with each couple, it felt like the ones who were doing the podcast, they were trying to blame the other person for what was said. Because Corrupt, he's still trying to place blame on Tony. And I'm just like, how can you blame Tony for your drinking issues? Tony is not the one that's putting the bottle to your mouth. That is all you. Tony is trying to get you away from the bottle, but you keep going back to the bottle. So I don't agree with Corrupt and him wanting to blame Tony for the situation. You can't do that. That's pretty much unfair to that woman. And Willie is doing the same thing with Shonda. Now, when it comes to Willie and Shonda, I'm not on either one of their sides. Honestly, I'm not on either side when it comes to Willie and Shonda. Willie has his issues, but Shonda also has her issues as well. And I'm going to tell you guys why I say Shonda has her issues as well. Because if you say that you are going to forgive a person and move forward, you have to do that and not look back in the past. But this is a tricky situation because Willie keeps repeating the same mistakes from his past. So I can't put it's a tricky situation because I can't put blame on Willie and I can't put blame on Shonda. It's equal for them. So it's 50% Willie, 50% Shonda. Because like I said, Willie keeps repeating the same mistakes that he's made before, but she keeps forgiving the same mistakes that he's made before. So it says a lot about both of you. And him talking about he's not happy. Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E, a complete idiot. That's all I gotta say. Everything that you doing is wrong. Because she's like, Devon needs to tell her when she's doing something wrong. You should know when you're doing something wrong. Calling him a sugar baby, no man wants to, that attacks his masculinity if he feels like his woman has to take care of him. And what else? Yeah, that's it. And again, I put in my notes, I just don't know why Tony puts up with the shit that she puts up with Corrupt. I don't know. I mean, love is a powerful thing, but it ain't that powerful to get through that shit. All right, you guys. So then the exercise for the day. So I'm not going to talk about because Dr. Ish gave the couples cards and I didn't take down what the cards said because I really didn't give a shit, to be quite honest with you guys. But the exercise is about listening, effective listening. Like, don't listen to respond to a person. I think that's a problem, not even just with couples. I think that's a problem in normal everyday life. Like if you go somewhere and you have a complaint about something, most people's innate reaction is to listen to what you're saying and respond to it. Like if you come into my place of business and you tell me, say I have a food restaurant and you said, the food was not good today, the service was terrible, and you're just going off on me, and I'm like, we're short staffed today. We didn't have enough. We ran out of this. We ran out of that. You're not listening to what that person's saying, because that person could actually be giving you constructive criticism, just saying, hey, you could have done better, but it wasn't good. So I think that's a problem in just everyday life for people in general. When we hear stuff, our innate reaction is to respond back to a person. And instead of doing that, just listen to what people are saying to you. Because sometimes people can be complaining to you about something, but there's not really what they're talking, sometimes it's not actually all that they're talking about. They could be talking about something completely different, but you just listen to one set thing that they're saying. So that was pretty much what it was with the exercise, because they had they had a face of the other partner, and they were just interpreting to them what they feel like they're hearing their partner saying, and all of them was off base, especially Willie and Shonda, and also Phaedra and Medina, more so Phaedra. We're gonna talk about Phaedra. Like I don't know what to make of Phaedra. I haven't figured that out yet. Let's move on. All right, you guys, and then we're going to close with Judge Toler's evaluation of the day and the couples. So with Tahiri, she's talking about, she saw that Tahiri and Vado had an argument earlier in the day about him not giving her, the first glass of wine that he poured. In a nutshell, Judge told her, like, girl, don't let the small stuff get to you. And she also told Vado that when it comes down to him, if he wants a grown woman, he needs to, in fact, be a grown-ass man. And I was like, you said a word right there. Then she tells Willie and Shonda. So she tells Shonda, more specifically, that she needs to not be angry with him. And if she's going to accept his apology, girl, just accept it. Honestly, again, I just don't know why they're together. So then she also tells, Phaedra and Medina, she can't really analyze those two. She don't know if they're just there for the show or what. And I was like, about time somebody said it. I feel the same way about Vado and Tahiri, to be quite honest with you as well. I haven't got a true read on Vado and Tahiri, much like with Phaedra and Medina. Because, they were talking about the fact that Phaedra and Medina had not kissed each other. And then he kissed her on the cheek. I'm like, that is a friendly kiss, not a I love you or you my woman kiss, but whatever. Then she tells Corrupt, she, gave Corrupt a real deal Holyfield shit. Like, Tony, that is a good woman. And as people say, she looks mean. But I mean, if you guys were dealing with the same shit that she was dealing with, wouldn't you be a little bit mean? Like I said, me personally, I wouldn't be one-footable. I wouldn't be dealing with this shit. But obviously, Tony sees something in Corrupt. I don't know what it is, but she sees something in him. So Jotaro told him to honor her, basically. And I was like, you ain't said nothing but a word to that one. And then Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E. She told Devon he needs to control himself. That's what it was with them. I'm surprised she didn't say nothing to Hayes, to that one. Like, because there's a lot wrong with her. I think she needs, what it comes down to is Birdie E, Toucan Sam, Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E needs therapy. That's what she needs. She needs a therapist. Now, when Judge told him to control himself, that shit went right out the window. Now, I will say that Birdie E, Toucan Sam, and Miss Fowl, Nasal He, Nostradamus, Hoozle E, she treats him like he's a child. Now, she went upstairs and she got on the phone with her best friend. He comes up there. They got into it over the phone. And, Phaedra, she annoyed me because she did just what Medina said. She has on this nightgown. And I'm like, really, Phaedra? Like, why would you have that on? Like, you couldn't put something else on? Because that is really sexy. Like, your titties are showing. Yep, she's an interesting one. But that was Marriage Bootcamp, you guys. Like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Share this video. Until the next one, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys later. Also, stay hydrated as well because it's hot as fuck outside. And until the next one, you guys, I will see you later.